Okay, number one, I got a pole. Number two, I have a chair. Number three, if you can get at a wall, get at a wall. That's one of the best things that you can use. I'm going to show you some modifications. We're going to do the Walker's Daily Dozen as far as warming up and motion. And then I'm gonna go over the single best thing you can do to get your abdominal walls to really function as they're supposed to, and it ain't sit-ups. How's that? So here we go. I have this whole thing. I got this from a really good PT. It's a chart. I gave it out at school. It's got the instructions on the back. Anyway, I'm going to take you right through that. Before I do, I'm going to put a simple bar in my hand. Just put my bar in my hand. I'm going to kick off my shoes. When I take a step forward and a step forward, I'm going to roll my foot. See, I'm going to roll my foot into flexion. So when you're starting to rev up your engines, you got to have your feet mobile. You got to warm up your joints. That's just smart. And so see what I'm going to do is I step forward and I rotate into this move. I do a couple of moves that you might not see. So this is in prep of Walker's Daily Dozen. I will count them down as I go through them. Right now, I'm just prepping my foot. See how I'm going into flexion with my toes? And I might add, when you have a knee operation, when you have a hip operation, guess what? You don't use your feet the same. So I'm saying while you're healing and while you're getting stronger in your legs, get your feet to be more mobile. This right here is one of the best things to do. It's simple. See, I'm pushing myself forward with my knee soft in front. See, I'm just in the act of taking a step, but I don't take a step. I curl. See, I curl or flex my toes, and I put a little tiny bit of pressure. Then I step back. Take a big breath. Say rib cage up. Yeah, now see here? See here? Drop that knee in the back so that you can really spread your toes, and you put a little tiny bit of pressure on that flexed toe. Then I go into a heel plant, which gets me to pull my foot way up here in dorsiflexion, which gets me to use that whole front shin right here, the tibialis anterior. And see, you've gotten up this morning and you've walked around. I should say you've slugged around, slugged around, but you probably didn't do this, okay? See how I push the butt back? See how I drop my chin? I've got my bar right here, and I'm just starting to oil things up. So basically, with two moves, pull and pull. See that? Then go to the other one, pull this up, hip hinge, work your hip hinge just a little. Drop your shoulders. See, I'm pulling this up. I'm keeping it really curling up toward my knee. I watch what am I doing with my neck, okay? But see this move? Anybody out there that has had or has a delicate shoulder in any way, a delicate elbow, wrist issues, oh my goodness. You get a bar, you do a little hip hinge, you put your heel down, you soften your knee, and you just go like this. See, drop those shoulders as you pull this back, okay? So as you pull your elbows back with the bar, you push your neck, your chin back, okay? All the way back. That little bit of motion, the roll through, push on your foot, and then the heel forward, which is what we just did. Oh my goodness, you start thinking, oh, I think I can do today. I think so. And you might not have to take your painkillers to do it. My point is, give your joints just a chance to get on board. Turn your head, turn your head. Get your chin over your shoulder. See how I'm leaning in? I'm leaning in from the hip. And because I lean in from the hip and I keep my shoulders down, and then if I go to the side and I keep my rib cage up, man, I'm working the whole spine and I'm getting my knees, my ankles, my hips all on board. And just by pulling back in a lean out or a hip hinge, see this? This is really good. This could be one of your 1 minute thingies. Let's say you're really watching some show and you don't want to like get all hot and bothered. Okay. So you go like this. Just stand up and see, when I come up, I drop my chin in, I turn my chin, I turn my chin, I squeeze my gluteals. Release. Just go right here to your knees. Pull back up. Big breath through the nose. Turn, turn. Hip hinge. Tight tummy. Right here, right here. Turn, turn. This could be a 1 minute thing that you do all day today. About every 20, 30 minutes. If you gave me, I don't know, 5 to 10 of these, you're going to be so much better off. Yeah. Then if you pull that foot back and you do that little roll, see this? See this? This is huge, huge, especially if you're trying to avoid sluggish blood. Yeah, if you want to get that blood working, you got to squeeze your muscles against those veins and arteries. That's the only way your blood has a chance to get around your body, is through muscle contraction. Yeah, they don't have their own pushers. It's your muscles that push your blood through your veins and arteries. And if you can just learn to do this on a low level to get warmed up, oh my goodness, you're going to feel so much better. Okay, I'm going to put my little rod right here for a minute. Here's the Walker's Daily Dozen. So I got you kind of warmed up a little bit. I'm going to stand here in front of the chair in case I need to put my hand out in any way, or in case I need to hang on to it while I'm going through it. First move, simply push your butt back, drop your chin, bring your hands right up next to your ears, come into push out. See, I'm pushing out, and then I come back up and I squeeze my butt and I drop my shoulders. You ready? Look at your feet, because the minute some of you go down past a certain place, you want to pull your toes out like a duck, and I don't want you to do that. So take a good stance, shoulder width at least, maybe a little wider. Go right into a push out. See how my ears are between my biceps, and I want to go deeper, and then I come back up and I squeeze and I take a breath. And then I come back down. I get my biceps right at my ears. I'm coming down a little bit lower, and then I come back up. Okay? 2 more. Take a breath. Now exhale. You're reaching, and your biceps are right at your ears, and you're dropping your butt, not your head. And then I come back up. Now, let's say you couldn't get down that far. Okay, say rib cage up, drop your shoulders, and just do this. And drop your chin, and come back. Great, do it again. See, I'm just not going as low. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, I'm standing here. I'm going to put one leg back. Okay, that's the arm that's coming up. And then on this side, this hand goes back. And then I reach up. I don't have to do it really hard or high, but I'm on my toe in the back. That's why I did all those warm-ups, is to get your foot ready for this one. And then I come down and I come back in and I step back. The leg that steps back, that's the arm that goes up. This other hand goes right back here. Okay? Take a big deep breath. So I'm back, my arm comes up, and I'm right like that. I'm just pushing up, not hard, just a little with the shoulder, just a little. And then come back and then come back. Here's neutral. So when your leg goes back, that arm comes up. Okay? The hand goes right back here, just like that. All right, take a breath, and you can roll your foot down and then up. See how I'm rolling it down and then up? I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going like this. I can have a bend in the elbow if I need it. And I'm reaching, and then I come back down to the heel. And I reach, and I come back down to the heel. Take a breath, and I come back down. Just two more. Here we go. Up, squeeze, back down. Squeeze that gluteal right here. Drop your shoulders. And then step back. Ready? Take the other leg back. The leg that goes back, that's the arm side that comes up. Then I put this hand back here. Now, right now, before I go up into my toe box, I'm going to drop my shoulders. Yes, drop your shoulders. And then you can go to the heel and then back up to the toe. So this is where we are flexing our toes and we're pushing just a tiny bit. See, I'm reaching, then I go to the heel, take a breath, and I'm reaching. I go to the flexed toes and I take a breath, just two more. Here we go. All the way up. You're reaching, 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 and then drop back down. Drop your shoulders, breath. Here we go, up. And then we come back down. And come back down. And come back to neutral. Okay? Ready for the next one? Here we go. Now, for this one, you can either use your chair or you can use an object. It could be your weights on the floor. It could be anything, but not quite on the floor. Because why? So I'm going to put one leg forward and I'm going to bend the back leg and then I'm going to reach. See, and I'm going to try to tap it. See that? And then I come back up. Pay close attention to the back leg because I'm stepping into the item that I'm trying to reach over and touch, right? Here's my back leg. Number one, it's not turned out. Number two, I'm going to take a breath. And as I bend down, I'm going to push my heel down. And I'm going to try to tap it. And I'm going to try to tap it and tap it. See? So that just starts warming this up. This is where you should feel it mostly. Then I come back to neutral. Then I step forward to the object. Then I push my butt back. And I bend the back heel. I push it down. And I'm going to go reach with this side. And then reach with this side. And I'm going to reach. So my big question to you is when you get down in this position, is your chin tucked? Are you pushing your butt back? And I don't want to flex my back. My back is very, very extended. This is where you should feel the heating up of this move. And why do they include this in the Walker's Daily Dozen? Because it really gets you to start waking up these muscles. That's number one. It gets you to start moving in a forward trajectory and not flex your back. See, I just step. I'm going to reach something. I remind myself to keep my shoulders down. I go down as far as I can to reach the object, and then I push myself back up. See that? Then I switch. What's your back leg doing? It's got to be straight on. Now, if I need to modify my move here and get benefit from this move, you just don't go down as far. See, you reach your chair, which is fine. The whole deal is, am I using this part of me to get down there, or am I rounding my back in order to get down there? That's the big question. So go back. If you have to modify, you're going to reach for a higher object. But this leg is the working leg. See that? I don't feel any strain in my back. None. I do feel these muscles starting to heat up. Okay? So that's how I want to get those leg muscles going. That's why it's called the Walker's Daily Dozen. Okay, now let's open up our joints a bit. Mac's just standing here. Come here, Mac. He doesn't know what to do with himself sometimes. Kind of like most of us. Okay, so here I am. I am going to reach out like this. See that? So as I shift into this leg, get that shift. Now, if you needed to modify this, you just go a little. The point is this hip is going to the side. Then I just turn that toe out as far as I can. And let me tell you, I feel this one so tight in that little joint there because I got arthritis. I know it, but you got to keep moving. So this is a good way to do that. So see, my toe is turned this away. And then I bring myself in line. I'm not bending over is the point. This is rolling into my instep. That's great. And you'll feel that right up in the groin here, okay? Then this toe is turned out here as far as I can. Then I pull myself back. So if I were with you today, right now, walked in right now, I would come over and just kind of pat you here because most of you are doing this right now. So pull back, keep your knees just a little soft, then reach here and then reach here, okay? And just do a little knee push right here. A little knee push, but my ear is over my shoulder is over my hip is right there in line with that knee. Got it? And I'm pushing this just a little bit, and I'm rolling in. See that? Just that tiny bit of push. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Then you're going to get out of it. You turn that toe. See? And then you step out of it. Okay? Then we put this leg out and we lean the other way. See, that's the first thing we do is we get our toes getting ready. So I have to step out because I want this leg to be the straight leg, so to speak. Okay. So this one's straight. Now, what am I going to do with this? See, this is nice and straight on. You can see it here. And I'm rolling into my instep. See, I want to get that roll. See that? Yeah, make sure you don't slip. But then I turn this toe out. And you get that knee out in the direction of your toe, your big toe. So see, as I'm rolling that foot, then I line myself up before I put my hands out. Big breath. Reach. Reach. Open this. Ooh, drop your shoulders. Big breaths. Drop your shoulders. Big breaths. Yes. Roll into it. See, just a little tiny press. Roll that foot right here. right there. Ear, shoulder, hip bone. See that? Yeah, don't be out here. Pull yourself back there. Drop your shoulders. Reach, reach. Pulse. Forward, pulse. Forward, pulse. Forward. Bring it down, bring it back. See how I just brought that toe in? Then it's easy to get out of it. See that? Okay, next one. I want you to get next to a wall, have your chair so that you can actually, or it's better to have a chair rather than a pole, or it's best off to have yourself next to a wall. But this is right here if I need it. So what am I going to do? Everybody knows how to do a tandem walk, correct? I've gone over that many times. Number one, take a big breath. Feel which one seems more challenging for you to stand in one foot in front of the other position. See, so I'm going to turn to the side so you'll see. Number one, drop your shoulders. Number two, take a big breath. Okay, and you're going to change. You're going to change. We're going to do maybe 30 seconds holding here. But here's what we're going to add. Be next to a chair. Or you can do this sitting in a chair. Okay, put one foot over the other one. And then you're going to take your hands. You're going to soften your knees. Big breath. And you're going to act like you're running. But I want to push myself off the line. That's why I'm crossing midline. Now I could do this, which would be perfectly fine. And if you want to just do this one where you're just pumping your arms right here, stay grounded into your feet. Some of you are going to put way too much pressure on the front foot. Drop your shoulders, go back into the back foot as well as the front. Soften up your knee. Okay, drop your shoulders, big breath. Take a breath. Bring that front leg back. Okay, here we go. Switch. Now the back leg is in the front. And what makes this one more challenging is the closer to the big toe you get with your heel. And if you're touching it, then it's going to be quite challenging. Have your chair right there. Now soften up the knees, drop your shoulders, and we're going to start slow because your proprioceptive muscles and awareness has to kick in. See how I'm just going slow? My knees are soft and I'm drifting. And so if you need to touch the chair one time or the other, great, it's working. Work this thing. This is a great move to always be able to do and hold your balance for at least 30 seconds. Maybe a minute, but I won't say that. I'll say 30 seconds. Whoa. And then if you want to go challenge, see, get your stance, drop, big breath. You're going straight forward and you're going to start drifting. Go one side and then the other side and hold, fight. Yeah, fight for the balance. Slow down. You don't have to go fast. Don't have to go fast, but you have to hold your ground. Take a big deep breath, big deep breath, big deep breath. Yeah. And come out of it. Woo. Right there. Okay. Now the next one, you can use a modification or you can go with me. I'm going to do a plank position. I'm not going to do multiple reps, but you need to be able to hit these positions and hold them for a few minutes. Okay. Here's the modification. If you don't want to get in the floor, you're going to do here. You're just going to come right here. And then you're going to step one leg back a little. And then the other leg back a little. Drop your shoulders and don't let yourself sink. We'll do that, but not right now. I want to hold a plank. Okay. So that means I have to be able to put a yardstick from my shoulders to my knees, to my ankles actually. So I don't want to go up and I don't want to sink. Okay, we'll do it, but right now I want you to hold that. Just hold it. Take a breath. Stay there if you're doing a modification. If you want to do it with me, then I just come right here. I walk myself out and I just walk out and I drop my shoulders and I'm in a high plank. And I just hang out here for a little bit until it starts not being so easy. Take a breath. 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 Hang on. 5, 4, 3, breathe. 2, 1. Put one knee down. One knee down. Okay? With that one knee down, and you can do the very same thing from the chair. Just modify. So now as I bring my knee in, I am going to take the opposite hand and I'm going to come up with it. So I got one knee down, one toe down. I'll turn here to the side so you'll see what I'm doing. And I want to bring one hand up in a bird dog. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to drop my hip and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to do it on both sides. One is much more challenging, but it really helps your lower back and it helps you engage your hip so much to go one side versus the other side. Okay. Then I'm going to bring my other knee down. I'm going to go back with that leg. And I'm going to come up on the side where my knee is down. The hand comes up first. Now, when you go to the other side, when you try to bring that opposite hand up, it's not going to be so easy. You've got to really think about it. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Put it down. And you only need to do 1 or 2, okay? I mean, yeah, you can do more if you want to. So, the hand outstretched, that's opposite the leg outstretched, of course, is going to be much more compatible movement. But then I want to really marshal all my abdominal and get that other hand up there and fight it. Breath, 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 and bring it down and bring it down. Then I'm going to take my toes out. I'm going to push myself up. Right here, equalize. And this is where, if you could stand against a wall, that would be excellent. If you don't have a wall, then you've got to be very careful how you're going to do this next move. And it's simply, see, I'm just pushing against that. I'm going to bring my leg up, put my hand under, bring it back down. So I would much prefer you be against a wall. Now I'm against the counter. You keep your supporting knee soft. See that? And so for stability and safety, that's where I would put you, against a wall. I wouldn't have you lean hard against the wall, but you would just softly lean against the wall. Now, you want to do it freestanding? Great. You can do that. That's what I would prefer. But for safety, I like to put you against a wall or a counter or something. Okay? Take a breath, soften the knee, push the butt back, drop the shoulders, bring that knee up. You're going to be working your foot everywhere for this. So I'm going to come up. I'm holding under my knee. And this one isn't nearly as stable because this is my hip replace side. This is my knee replace side. Take a big breath, shift. So I might go at it a couple of attempts. Okay? I have to really concentrate to hang out here for even 10 seconds. This is a really good part of a daily dozen moves. But again, look here. if I simply even take my chair, and I'm going to stay on my hip replace side, if I barely touch and I bring this up, it's so encouraging because you're not constantly falling out of this move. So you're doing this move, yes, for the balance, but for the range of getting that leg up there. And if you can lean in against something, it makes the whole thing go so much better. Okay, next one. We're almost there. We've got 3 more to do after this one. This is the Walker's Daily Dozen. So I'm going to go wide. Feet are pretty straight. They can be out just a little. And I'm going to just put one hand up. And I'm going to push my butt back. And I'm going to just come down my leg. See that? To my ankle. And then when I come out of there, this is the tricky part. Bend your knees and push yourself up. Do not round your back. Okay? So that was this side. And now I'm going to go this way. So going down and coming up, I will never flex my back. That's a bad position for backs. I want to use these muscles. So you do a tiny hip hinge, tighten in, soften the knee, don't bend it, and just follow the leg on down. When you get down to the ankle, that's where you straighten your leg. Okay, you're straightening them, you're reaching up, reaching up, reaching up, reaching up, reaching up. Big breath. Now bend your knees and push through your feet. Don't bend your back. And we'll only do these a couple of times. Follow the leg down, soften the knee, bringing that arm up. Now straighten those legs. And you're reaching up. Then bend the knees, push through the feet, and come up. Last one. Here we go. Follow the leg down. When you get to the ankle, you straighten up your legs. And you're reaching. You hang out there for a second or two, then you bend your knees, push through the feet, and you come up. Okay? So now go a little bit wider. Now we're going to go across the body. Okay, we only have 2 more to go. So I'm going to go like here. I'm going to do the same principle. I have seen this so many times where somebody will come up out of it and they'll go, oh, follow the procedure. The procedure, a tiny hip hinge, a rib cage up, draw my shoulders, go across my body. My knees are soft, and when I get down there, now I straighten. Now I straighten my legs. Then I bend my knees, I push through my feet, I come up. Now I hip hinge, soften my knees, keep my rib cage up, go all the way over to the opposite ankle, straighten those legs. You're going over the back with the arm. Then you bend those knees. Push into the heels. Push into the heels. Come up. Yay. Okay, last 2. This can be very modified. You can do this from your chair. You just want to make a V with your body. You bring your ears right down, just like that. And if you want to do it with me, then I come back here. I take a shoulder width stance. I soften my knees. I walk myself out. And I make a V with my body. And I swing back into the heels. Press back. Take a big breath. Do not crank your neck here. Ground your heels. Ground your heels. Okay. Then I walk myself back, bend my knees, come up. The next one you can modify. If you don't want to get in the floor or cannot get in the floor, you're going to sit in the chair, okay? And you're going to do this very same thing that we're going to do as you're sitting in the chair. I'm going to get into the floor. So here I go. See, I can get into the floor and out of the floor, never feel a strain ever in my back. So here I am sitting in a chair. If I were sitting in a chair, this is how I would be sitting. Okay? But I'm on the floor. This is the last daily dozen. And this is especially important for walkers. See how I drop my knees to the side and I bring my hand out on opposite side and I just pull the wrists. Take a big deep breath and I try to put my knees down. Then I come right here, just right here. And then I gotta drop the opposite side with my knees. I'm gonna grab my wrist and go across the body. And I'm gonna push my knees down and I'm gonna pull. Push my knees down, I'm gonna pull. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, and bring it back. Okay, I'm gonna take the time to do this one more time. So I'm going to drop my knees to the side, pull my arm across the chest, and then pull the wrist. Just pull it. Breath, breath, drop those knees, big breath. Then I come right here like a dead bug, and I go to the other side. Drop those knees, pull, 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 pull. And then you come back. You could do dead bugs from here if you wanted to. You could do all kinds of dead bug type challenges like this one or like this one. But I'm not going to do that today because what I'm going to finish up on and what I want to show you is one of the most important things you do if, in fact, you want to move better, walk better, and be stronger in your core. This is it. It's not sit-ups, okay? You can do this from the chair. If you need to do it from the chair, you can do it from the chair. Okay, so you just stand and you use this as your platform. Okay, I'll do it from the chair and show you. But what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm crawling. I know. So if I were going to do it from the chair, you see? You see? Then I go back and I go back. And I go back. You cannot crawl around like this if you don't engage your abdominals. You just can't do it. When you bring your knee up and you ambulate with your arms, I don't mean ambulate, I mean crawl. Let me show you how to do it here. Hey, keep crawling, don't get up. Because I'm going to go into the next thing. See this? I'm going to crawl and crawl. And I'm going to crawl and crawl. And the most important thing to hear me here is if you're modifying or if you're on the floor, keep that back extended. See? So if I'm down here and I take 1, 2, 3, and then I go back, same way, crawling, crawling, crawling. After I've done that, now I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to dig my toes in. You can do this on the chair very nicely. And I'm going to bring one knee up, one knee up. See, I'm not going for both of them. No, not yet. I'm going to drop my chin, drop my shoulders, take a breath. See, my toes are flexed. See how I'm pushing off the toe to get that knee up? Yeah, I can't do this if I don't tighten in those abdominals. I can't do it. Okay? Now you're primed and ready to do what I've done this whole class to be able to get to this one, okay? Number 1, drop your shoulders. Very important. Drop your chin. Very important. Take a breath. Soften your elbows as you drop your shoulders. Take a breath, and you're going to push into your toes, and you're going to lift your knees like 1 inch, and you're going to hold 2, 3, 4, down. Do the same thing right here, okay? Won't be quite as challenging, but it will get your core. Drop your shoulders. Bring that chin under. Take a breath. Push into the toes, exhale, and bring those knees up. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a walk. Do those 3 little crawling moves. Then you go back. See, the biggest problem that I see when people really understand how to do this is they stay with that move and they don't move around. I want you to move around between sets, okay? I want you to move around in a crawl. Okay, flex the toes. Big breath, drop your shoulders. Get ready. Another big breath, push into the toes. Exhale. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And take those little steps. 1, 2, 3. Seriously, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And I'm going to go right back in. And here I go. I'm going to drop my shoulders, toes under. Take another big breath through the nose. Don't let your head hang down here. Bring the chin in. Okay? Okay, another big breath. Toes are in place. You're going to push into the toes. Exhale and bring the knees up. Breath, 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 breath. Hold, hold. 5, 4, 3, hold. 2, 1. And you're down. Yay! Okay. Push into the toes and go ahead and stand yourself up. And if you're down there for very long, then just equalize a little bit. And then push and come up. Okay, let me see where we're at. We're doing good. We could do 3 or 4 more sets of those. But I'm going to show you how to do it on the chair. And actually, you know those breaks that I'm encouraging all of us to do? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're peeling potatoes. I don't care if you're at the computer. I don't care if you're sitting and watching whatever. Every 20, 30 minutes, do it in a commercial. Just stand up and make this be one of them. Let's say you don't want to get in the floor. Fine. I'm going to show all those who did the modification, I'm going to show you how to do this. So you put your hands here. See how I put my fist? Now, if you want to stretch your hands, good, you can do that. I have my pad here, okay? I'm just going to come right out here, and I'm going to drop down. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to push one knee in and the other knee in, and one knee in and the other knee in. Breath, 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 breath. And I'm going to step, step, and I'm going to come up. Take a big deep breath. So you can do this with the chair positioning. You can do planks. Make planks and that move one of your tasks that you do for. Do you do it for 5 minutes? No, you do it 1, 2, or 3 minutes. See, you come here, you step back like you're gonna kneel down and crawl, and then you just do this. You just do a holding. You drop your shoulders, breath, 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 breath. Come in and come up. That is getting a body load, and it's employing your abdominal muscles to support your move, to support your spine. What do you think it's supposed to do all day long? As you walk around, as you sit, as you do everything. Yeah, this is not a move that we do all day long, all like that, like a sit-up, okay? This is. You can do this every minute of the day. You just brace. And that's all I'm doing is I'm pushing that bracing to a level that will train your abdominals to actually support your back, to support all your moves, okay? So I'm going to step, then I'm going to step, then I'm going to step. And what am I doing right now? I'm getting a full circle. I'm pivoting. See, I'm just looking here, turning breath, looking here, turning breath, drop my shoulders, turning breath, Drop my shoulders, turning breath. One of the reasons why we, when we're recovering from injury, when we're recovering from being sick, see how I'm just turning here? I'm pivoting. See, I'm just pushing, turning, pivoting. I'm looking so I don't get dizzy. I'm looking. It's this spinning. We don't get movement in all circular, normal, the way we normally move. Now, I'm talking to I have some dancers, almost semi-pro dancers in my class. And when you do this kind of moving, and you're looking, and you're turning, and you're looking, you are getting the proprioceptive muscles, so to speak, really on board. When you're recovering, you're either laying down a lot, you're sitting down a lot, or you're not moving in all the dimensions, okay? That's why just a simple pivot is excellent to do, excellent to do, excellent to do. Then I'm just gonna turn, and I'm gonna turn. And I'm gonna give my back a chance to lose the tightness. So I'll do this, but I'll always, if I have hip tightness, I will always go into, and you can use your chair so you don't fall or you don't get off balance. I'll say that. See, if I'm standing here and I have terrible hip tightness, let's say, which if you have arthritis in your hip, you do have hip tightness. And I'm gonna step behind. But see, I'm not gonna end there. See, I'm gonna drop my shoulders and I'm gonna push my hips forward until I feel this stretch right here, right here. Yeah, push your hips forward, drop your chin, take a big breath, open your toes. Yeah. And you just hang out there. You hang out there for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So now I'm going to take this leg. This was the one that was tightening up on me before I did my hip replacement. See how I just crossed it in the back? Okay, you're not done. You drop your shoulders and you push your hip bones forward as you go back. So you're opening right here, opening, 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 opening. Yeah. Then you come out of that, take a big deep breath, get that door, get the door post, get the edge of a bar or something, grasp it, and push your butt back. You could do it off of a chair. But see here, I can really pull into this because this desk is not going anywhere. And then I come back up. See how I'm going to go into my hip? Then I'm going to push that hip back. Make sure your feet are not going to slip when you do this. You just hold it, 1001, 1002, 1003. Come up out of it. Push into the feet. Really push your butt back. Then come back up. Push your hips forward. Drop your shoulders. I know it. You always want to bring your shoulders up, don't you? Everybody does. See? Breath, 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 and then come back. Yay! Take your hands out like this. Just give it a whirl with my wrist. Then give it a whirl with my shoulders. Then turn my hands back and just bring those shoulders into a circular. And if you can not see your way through anything else, I'm telling you, don't use the back of your chair. Sit to the front. Do 30 and 30, okay? And do it with your whole shoulder. And then give yourself a big hug. Drop your shoulders. Turn, turn. Woo! Take a big breath. Yeah, just like that. So that was the Walker's Daily Dozen. I went right through them, but I prepped your feet with big stretches in there. So I hope that helps today. Use the modifications if you need to. Just remember, it hurt me more than it did you.